Joining me now is Mark Schmitz. He is the father of Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, who was killed in the explosion. Mark, I want to first start by saying just how sorry we are for your loss, your incredible loss, and how grateful we are for your son's service. He's just such a fresh-faced baby. It's just horrible, the ultimate sacrifice. He was only 20 years old when he was killed. It was his first deployment. What goes through your mind when you hear people defending Joe Biden and saying he did a good job when it comes to the withdrawal?
I can't fathom how this is not a partisan committee hearing. Our veterans, the last time I checked, don't just protect Republicans. They protect all of us, and they're out there risking their lives for our entire country. And to have the Democratic Party turn around and say that, you know, this was an inherited problem from Donald Trump is absurd. In the first 100 days of Biden's administration, he passed 60 policies, 24 of which were overturning Trump policies. He had more than enough ample time, if he thought that there was any issue with the withdrawal date set up, to get that rectified, changed, and renegotiated. He didn't do such things and decided to sneak out in the middle of the night in Bagram, which I think, personally, this is where this needs to all start, because everything else was a domino effect after that. Had he not done what he did in Bagram and leave all those munitions behind, I think $7 billion plus in ammunition and arms, and sneak out in the middle of the night and leave all those U.S. citizens, Afghan allies, and other people behind, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in.
Right.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I couldn't agree more. I don't think we'd have the war on Ukraine had we not had such a disastrous withdrawal. And when you saw that video, what we just showed right there, where people kind of hanging off the planes, people just so desperate to leave, our own allies, the translators. I mean, look at this. The fact that the president of the United States could do this to our own allies, I think other world leaders or adversaries around the world said to themselves, if he'll do this to so-called friends, who won't he do it to? And your son, he lost his life. I can't even imagine the pain and frustration you must go through every single day.
Again, it's just a complete absurdity that anybody who's been to HKIA knows that that airport was definitely not the place to host an evacuation like they did. And I'm not trying to discredit any of the military that did such a wonderful job evacuating 120,000 plus people, but I can only imagine the successes they would have had and the loss of life that didn't have to happen had this happened all at Bagram. I mean, that place was a fortress. There are 2 chain link fence, 10-foot chain link fences that protected the surrounding property of HKIA. I mean, I don't know what Biden was thinking. It's absurd. And the fact that, like what Tyler was speaking of, the fact that they abandoned our guys in the middle of this, when they had their sights on the exact description of who they were looking for, including the secondary party, and they could have taken a kill shot, and his direct commander didn't know what the answer was, whether or not he could shoot. It's insane. How does that even happen? And then he disappears to find out the answer and apparently never comes back. I don't know what that time frame looked like, but next thing you know, my son's dead. 12 other heroes are dead. Dozens of our military are critically wounded, including Tyler. I mean, he was full of ball bearings and gunshots, and you know you did play that segment. I do want to bring that up as well. The gunfire. Nobody, I don't recall, in that committee so far has addressed the post-blast gunfire that they took at the tower. And a lot of Marines that we've spoken to that have come home all spoke of a brief amount of gunfire. The Pentagon sat at my dining room table, denied that even happened. I have video, I have photos that were sent to me from Afghans since all this happened that negates exactly what the Pentagon is telling me. So I don't know what they're trying to cover up. I'm quite frankly sick and tired of it. Our kids are gone. Somebody needs to be held accountable. Certainly Tyler's direct commander and his commanders above that. But this goes all the way to the top. I think this started with Biden and that horrific decision to leave Bagram the way he did.
Absolutely. Mark Schmitz, and thank you so much. And may God continue to give you strength. Thank you.
Thank you.